Hey, welcome to John's Barbecue. Today we're going to be doing a three-course barbecue, and the key to any barbecue is prep. You don't want to be doing all your cooking when your guests arrive, so we want to do things ahead of time. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our dessert. Now, what's unique about today's menu is we're using chili in all three courses. We're going to use it in our appetizer, in our chili cheeseburger and chili cheese fries, and in our dessert, and we're going to start with that. And now you're saying chili and dessert, and I'm telling you, this is going to be one of those meals where you go, wow, this is fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some Tommy's To Go chili. This is the 32 ounce. Take that off. And we're going to use about half a cup. And we're going to throw in 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 cups of milk, and 2 eggs that are beaten. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to stir this all together. You can see that we are getting a very, very thick dough, and it's kind of brown. It's exactly what you want it to look like. It's going to take a lot of stirring. Okay, you want to get all that chili mixed all up inside there so it's nice and even. You see how nice and even it is, and nice and thick. Okay, you want it this consistency, so when it goes into the deep fry oil, it's going to hold together in a nice ball. And then we're going to take some paper towel, and we're going to go ahead and cover it up and put it into the fridge until we need it. Hey, okay, we're back, and what we're going to do now is make our appetizer. You can make a lot of these or a few of these. I'm just making a few just to show you how it's done, and I'm using just a small toaster oven tray just because it fits on the barbecue nice and easy. This is the easiest appetizer you're going to come up with. Guests are going to love it. Basically, you take a teaspoon of chili and drop it right on the Triscuit. Oh, and just so you know, I have sprayed the tray ahead of time with some cooking spray so that the cheese doesn't stick to the tray itself. And what we're going to do after I get all the chili on is we're going to cover these in a sharp cheddar. You know, we want to use cheese with flavor, and I've pre-cut these to a square so they fit right over top. Now, of course, with any barbecue, you want multiple appetizers. You don't want just one appetizer. I typically will do a shrimp or some other fish. I will also do chips and dips, and I like the more unusual dips like Fiesta dip and that sort of thing. Next, we'll take, for some little color, we'll take some onions. And I just pre-diced these before we came out today. Put those right on top. See how easy that was? Takes a couple seconds. Really easy to do. Your guests will love them. We're now going to go prep the oil for our French fries and our dessert. And we're going to get the barbecue ready for our appetizers and burgers. Barbecue all set up. We've got it preheated. I've scrubbed the grates and put a little oil on the grate so your burgers won't stick. But we want to keep it nice and hot and get it ready for the burgers. I'm going to turn each one of these grills down to a medium because I'm using a fairly thick hamburger and I don't want to cook them too fast so they're crusty on the outside and cold in the middle. I want them to be nice and a nice crust, but not too crusty, and then warm in the center, but still pink. And then our oil for our fries, we've set up basically a turkey fryer with a lower pan, and we've got a strainer in there, and it's right now heating up to about 375 degrees. We're going to use the oil for both the French fries and the dessert. Please, if you have any kids, be careful, keep them out of the area. It's very hot, very dangerous. We got an open flame with oil. And notice I've done it on the grass, not on the concrete. We're going to go ahead and start making our burgers. Everybody knows how to make burgers, but I'm just going to show you what I put in my burgers. First, we're starting off with 2 pounds of ground beef. We're using 1 cup of Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. We're using 1 tablespoon of each garlic that's been crushed, and some olive oil. Yes, I know olive oil sounds a little odd, but I like a little extra grease in there. It keeps things moist. I also like the flavor of the olives personally. We're using 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of cayenne, and a teaspoon of pepper. And we're using 2 eggs that have been beaten. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix those together thoroughly, and then make them into patties that are about a ½ pound each. We have our burgers, and it's 2 pounds, so we have 4 burgers. We're going to throw them on the grill, and you can hear that sizzle. Get these ones on the grill. Now, right now I'm going to shut the lid because I really want to get them cooked all the way through. The next thing we're doing is we've got chocolate here. This is dark chocolate that we've got in our pan, and we're going to put them over a very, very low heat, just for a few minutes. And we're going to be melting this chocolate down for our dessert. Now, you don't want to burn your chocolate. It's so easy to do. That's why it's recommended to use a double boiler. But in this case, we're just, it's hot out here today. It's going to be hot in this pan. We're not going to use very much heat at all. And the trick really is to stir. And we're using a wooden spoon to stir it. Make sure you don't get any water into this at all. And we're just going to let that go just for a second. In the meantime, we're going to come over here and put our fries in. Now, the fries are only going to take a couple minutes. And you got to remember, this oil is very hot. We're talking about 375 degrees. And we've taken them, we've emptied them into our basket, and we're going to lower the basket in slowly and just let them go. Okay, we've got our appetizer, which you just saw. Now we're going to put together the perfect Tommy's chili burger. Basically, we take our chili, we're going to put it on our toasted bun. I use a generous portion of chili because I just happen to love the chili. And then we're going to go ahead. I prefer my cheese directly on the chili. Some people don't, but I really do, and that's the way I go with this. So we're going to go ahead and put our cheese directly on the chili. Then we're going to take one of our burgers, ½ pound burger, throw that on there, and then I go with 2 pickle spears. These are dill. Then I go ahead and I put my tomato, and then my onions. I use a sweet onion, and of course you cannot forget your mustard. Mustard is a must on a chili dog. And there we have the perfect Tommy's chili. And complement that, of course, we have our fries. Our fries, a big plate full of salted fries. We go ahead again and we take our cheese, and we're going to throw that on there. Wow, it's warm out today. And then we're going to take, again, Tommy's wonderful chili, and go ahead and get that on there. And there we have it. We have your Tommy's chili cheeseburger and chili cheese fries. Our burgers are done. Everybody's eating and having a great old time. We're going to go ahead and make our dessert now. We got our oil nice and hot, and we're going to spoon in our batter for our chili puffs. So I'm going to take some batter, and I put the basket down inside, and I'm going to go ahead and just drop in the tops of my batter. these are only going to take a few seconds. So you got to work fairly quickly. Oops. I'm glad I'm doing it on the grass there. And you can see that these are pretty much done. Now I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Now safety first. And I'll always use an oven mitt on this. It's going to be very, very hot. See, look at those. They popped up quite nicely. They're nice and crisp. We got all the oil off. And we're going to go ahead and put those right onto our prepared cookie sheet. The favorite part of the meal is, of course, the dessert. And we're going to do the chili puff covered in a dark chocolate and then sprinkled with powdered sugar. You know what? I don't tell my guests what's in them. I just go ahead and let them try it and then tell them. And I find that they're just pleasantly surprised and they had no idea what really hit them. So I went ahead, this is my melted dark chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and place them in the bowl here. Just like that. You know, nothing too special here. And I'm using a premium dark chocolate. I'm not using a cheap dark chocolate. You know, I want the quality. Go ahead. Now the trick to powdered sugar is really simple. We're going to go ahead and just use a sifter, and I'm going to pour my powdered sugar, and at the same time I'm going to shake, and it gives you that nice snowball effect. And there we go. There is our powdered sugar chili puff. And your guests are going to guarantee. I hope we all had a great time today in John's backyard, learned something new. We have right now our Triscuit appetizer, the chili cheese fries, and our chili puff balls with the dark chocolate. Wonderful meal. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thanks very much.